Yo, welcome to my channel, Ward Draws a Lot. Obviously I'm Ward, or I wouldn't have named it Ward Draws a Lot. As a reminder, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's nice seeing some interaction from you guys, and it lets me know what you guys like and don't like, and what part of the video that you found appealing. So thank you in advance if you do those three things. If not, it'd be like that sometimes, you know? Okay, now that I've done this intro like 10 times and I finally got through it, today we're going to be drawing Juzo Inoue from No Guns Life, and he's just beautiful. Just a nice stick name slash gunman. As you can see, he's got a gun for a head, and that's different. You know, usually people have a normal head, but he's not a normal person. In the show, he's a part of something called the Overextended, which basically means that his body went through heavy modifications in order to do a specific task, and since he is a gunhead, they were specifically used in the war, but that was way back when. So now he's a resolver. He takes on cases that involve people who are also extended, because there's not only the Overextended, there's the Extended, which they did body modifications too, but they're not to the degree of which something is completely replaced. I'm trying to sum this up to the best of my ability because I just started the show myself, so there's that. I also want to try and read the manga as well. I think I'm equal with the show and the manga right now, so there's that. The show has a very like noir type vibe. So obviously he's like the dude who solves the cases and stuff, and it's got this very washed out tone, which I really like, so it has very nice visual quality to it, for me personally. A lot of this was made in Unreal Engine 2. When I was like looking at the credits the first episode, and I saw the Unreal Engine logo, I was like baffled. I was like, are you serious? That's why it looks this great? There's obviously like the two components, the animation side, but then there's the Unreal Engine side to it, and it looks great put together, honestly. There are some parts where I'm like, okay, that 3D model of a person looks pretty funny, but the story is actually pretty compelling, and half the time I don't notice the background characters because they're background characters. The way this show is drawn, it's... okay, so there's so many different components to this. I'm not going to say what it looks like and what it doesn't look like. You can decipher for yourself if you go see it what you think the characters look like, or who they look like. But what I can decipher from my own eyes is that when I was looking at it, it's kind of giving me like a comic book vibe, like an American comic book style of coloring and saturation. Again, it's giving off the noir effect, so the noir like style of... it's not... this isn't 1950s like crime solving, it's not, but it gives off that impression to a degree, which is pretty cool. But this is set in the future. It's a lot. it's a lot to explain. Anyway, when I went to go open up the manga and I saw that page of him putting on his jacket, I thought that was like super cool. I think it's cool that they're both meshed in that style, so it's got the manga form slash anime form of drawing style, but then you also have the comic book style coloring, which is like a very unique mashup. I don't think personally I've seen anything else like it. There might have been, but I just flew over my head and I just don't know. But I was compelled to draw it because it looked like a stunning piece, so I was like, how can I imitate that? Basically, I want to see if I could also challenge myself and do something in that comic book type style. By the way, this sketch took like 2 hours. It was really hard. The perspective of his gun head was like ridiculous, but after a while I was super happy with it, and I rolled my kneader over it. But as I'm rolling my kneader, a fly comes right under the kneader and then just gets rolled over onto the paper, and I panicked and I tried to erase it, but obviously you can't erase bug juice, which I was very upset with. But I had to get over it. I just decided to put black in that area where the where the bug juice was. Yeah, so after that, me and Mosquitoes are forever enemies. We already didn't like each other, but now Mosquito is definitely my enemy, because I had spent 2 hours on that, and then once I saw that mosquito dead on my paper, I was like, why are you here? Who prompted you to even come over here? Was the scent of the paper good? What? I was so mad. You guys don't have any idea. After that whole fiasco, I go in and line it. Now, there are very heavy uses of black ink in this coloring style, because it is imitating comic book style coloring. I really do believe that. And I had to be careful where I placed the black when I colored it in, because I didn't want too much black, and then you wouldn't see the true silhouette of the character. It would just be too meshed out by that color, and you don't want that. You want just enough black to give it the look of shading, but not too much to where it's just a giant black silhouette. So I had to make sure I heavily reference the picture for this, because I've never done this type of black ink coloring before, or if I have, maybe it was like super long ago and I don't do it anymore. But overall, I think that part came out pretty nice. I think I want to start doing more black and white drawings in general after that, because I think that looked pretty cool. I used to do black and white drawings all the time, but after a while I was like, I want to explore with color and figure out how it blends together and all this stuff. And at that point I really started to begin to like color, and I stopped doing black and white pieces. But some people only strictly stay in black and white, and I think that's super cool. Like, to get a certain kind of vibe or effect with only like blacks and grays and tones and stuff like that is super awesome. I think that's like a skill in itself, honestly. So I think there are two main different ways you could approach this. You could either put the color down first and then go over it with black, or you could put the black down first and then go over it with the color. Obviously, as you can see, I did the black first, then the color. I was actually scared of doing that when I entered this approach, because I was like, if I put down the black, won't the colors that go on top be really smudgy and like muddy and all that stuff? But I was actually pleasantly surprised it didn't do that, and I think that's because I changed my coloring style in order to adjust to the style it was colored. I know that sounds a little weird. Basically, what I did different is, instead of my normal coloring style, which is I blend a lot and I make sure there's smooth transitions and gradients to make it look nice and soft, I made sure that when I was doing this, that I didn't blend at all. Or like if I did, it was more so that I was layering darker tones on top of the lighter tones without necessarily blending them all together. This helped me achieve the kind of look that I was going for, which I think actually turned out very well. I'm surprised that it didn't end up muddy or anything. I like to call it the single stroke technique, but honestly it's not a single stroke technique. What I did was I laid down the lightest color, or what I like to call the base color. So this is like the foundation that I'm going to be working off of. Afterwards, I layer it in certain areas where the shadows would appear like it is going to be, but it's not necessarily. And then I just keep building on top of those shadows to give it like this shiny or a sheen effect. Do I go back and blend a little bit? Yes, but that's just because I have to see some blending done. Otherwise it looks a little too like you could see too many single strokes, and although that is the point of this, I wanted to make sure that it looks coherent and not messy and grody and all that other stuff. And I think the only true way I was able to approach this drawing with this method is because of the heavy use of blacks. Normally I don't think it would have worked. I think some people do this and it works great for them, but it doesn't work great for me, and that's like the beauty of finding your coloring style. Everything works differently for somebody, and that's cool, and some people can try and imitate it like I'm trying to imitate it here, and I do like the result, but that's because I was really like, man, I'm doing this is happening tonight, this is getting done. This whole piece took me like a total of, I'm gonna say 4 hours. Usually it takes me around 2 or an hour and a half, but that's because I'm in my comfort zone and I'm not drawing something that's in a different coloring style or in a different drawing style. So combining those two factors and trying to figure out how to put it down on paper, that already took 2 hours. When I first put my pencil to the paper, I was like, how am I going to even approach this? It was so confusing. I drew it so many times. I was like, this is this is not gonna work, but my brain was like, nah, it's happening. We're gonna make this happen. Overall, it was a very challenging piece, and it whooped my booty. It really whooped me. I was like sitting there, I was like, bruh, this is killing me inside, but I was loving it as I was dying. I was like, this is gonna come out so awesome. I'm gonna be so proud of myself, and I am. I really didn't think I could even pull something off like this. My favorite part of the drawing, everything. I think the part that I like the most is the heavy uses of blue, but they're all contrasting each other. I think that's so cool. It's like the jacket is a different tonal blue than his like sweater, and then even his jeans, and that looks like awesome to me. I think that that's cool that you could take a single color or like a single color family and then differentiate it so much within a drawing and still make it look cohesive. That's like awesome. That's definitely something different. I wanted to add some white highlights, especially on the gun, which is his head, because you need some shiny bits there. It is a gun, it's going to be reflective. I added it in some other areas too, so this way it can kind of outline it a little bit better. I felt like some areas definitely needed to be shown, and I think the white outline did that. This time I used acrylic paint with like a little nail thing. That's like the thing you use to do dots on nails, but I was like, let's just use it on drawing, and I think I might do that again. Acrylic paint definitely showed up better than like those gel pens, so I might just start using that from now on. And yeah, so this piece basically is done as you're seeing it right now. I signed it, and it was really fun. I froze it right here so you could take a good look. This was awesome, and I'm so glad I did it. Thank you for watching, and remember, I love you. Bye.